Who's up for the challenge? We're about to find out. Welcome into LakePoint Sports, where it's Prep Baseball Challenge weekend, all weekend long here at the Baseball Village. I'm Cory McCartney. We've got a matchup for you of B Baseball and Medlock Monarchs coming your way from the 14U Division. First pitch slated for 10 a.m. way by Prep Baseball Georgia's Avery Hunt and our own Jack McCartney. It's a showdown that has some intriguing names to circle for this spring and summer ahead, including one in the Medlock Monarchs, Langston Williams out of the Galloway School, who's already locked in for this summer's junior feature game, so it'll be fun to see him as the summer commences here at the Baseball Village. Now, across the state of Georgia, the state baseball playoffs are underway. In Etowah, the third-ranked team, and now second-ranked team in the latest Prep Baseball National Top 50, is gunning for a repeat, and the key to Etowah's chances are its starting rotation, which includes North Carolina signee Jackson Rose, the third-ranked left-handed pitcher in the Peach State. Here's my conversation with Rose, who talks Etowah's stacked roster, his decision to go to Chapel Hill, and his pitch grips. In the spotlight here with Etowah's Jackson Rose, the third-ranked left-handed pitcher in the state of Georgia, and a UNC signee. Jackson, man, appreciate the time. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
So you and Etowah, defending state champions now, number 3 in Prep Baseball's national rankings. Those of us that kind of watched this crew come up kind of expected there was going to be a run like this.
Yes,
but what's it been like to be in it and watch it build?
I mean, honestly, like, last year we knew, like, we won, we were really good, and then coming into this year we were, like, new parts, new spots. Maybe a little nervous about like how it was all going to work out, but then like once we were practicing, like I got to be around like Colin, I was like, yeah, I'm not worried, because I mean the young talent, like even like the juniors and seniors that have stepped in now that others have gone, it's like, I mean, just all together as a team, like we all have one goal and we're all ready to win. So
yeah, you mentioned Colin Anderson, top 10 player nationally, among freshmen, just an absolute stud that you guys have added. Taking on a leadership role, though, for you, how's that been a little bit different?
It's been a lot different, just like talking more and being more like, because I feel like as a leader, a lot of kids will look and follow in your footsteps, so you got to try and do the right things more often. And like me, like I'm a antsy pitcher, and sometimes like I'll let it all go, and like I'm learning to be like, all right, this is my team, like this is how I got to show them how to play, like I got to have good reactions to everything.
Let's talk about the stuff. The fastball is up to 92 now. You got tons of spin with everything. If you're ranking those secondary pitches, give me the order.
It would go changeup, then curveball. I really like my changeup. I think it's honestly the best pitch I've got, just because my curveball like was a lot better before I had surgery, but after, like, that's when I realized, all right, I need a third pitch too, and changeup, just found it.
What do you feel like is that kind of big next step for you? Is there a pitch in general that you're trying to work on?
I think the next big step would be like really getting down that breaker. And then I've been working on a 2-seam, trying to figure out if that's my 4th pitch, but I've been looking for 4th pitch, and I've just been working.
So when you're working on another pitch like that and things are rolling so well, when do you get to that point where you feel like, I think I can bring this in game, but I'm not sure yet?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, it's just one of those things, like, if I'm feeling good that week and then, like, I start the game good, like, I'm gonna mix it in every once, like, throw one that looks like that, like, and then throw another one, move the grips around, like, just honestly, like, I'll try it in game. If I'm doing good, just 0-2, see what it does, and attack from there.
You mentioned the surgery. You missed most of the 2023 season.
Yes.
Yeah, 2024, you end that with a spot in the senior future games.
Yeah.
That on the heels of you becoming a North Carolina signing. What was the future games experience like for you, and kind of how did the recruitment start and end for you with UNC?
So like the futures games was really cool because, I mean, that gave like a lot of last guys like in my class a chance, because like with the new roster changes, it was a lot harder for us to get recruited. But like as me as a lefty, it was definitely on the easier side. But I got to go down there and like really, all the colleges that have been interested in me really got a chance to see me against really good competition and see all my numbers, and it was pretty sick. And then and then there's like but then there's also one of my teammates is on my third team went with me, and that's where he actually picked up his offer to where he was going. So like that was a really cool thing for him. But for me, it was like UNC got to see me that last time, and I was like, yeah, this is where I want to go. 5
strikeouts over 2 innings. You absolutely just stood out in that. End up with the North Carolina commitment, and then now a signee. Etowah coach Greg Robinson went to UNC himself, hit a 3-run home run in the 1978 College World Series. I don't know if he's ever told you guys that story before, but
a few times.
What was that like to have that conversation with him and be like, guess what, coach, I'm going to be a Diamond Heel too?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, it was great to like let him know UNC's reached out to me, but it was really funny because he actually had them come look at me. Well, this is what happened. He reached out for them to come look at me, but they were like, "Oh, we're already getting to know him," which was pretty cool. And then like, I mean, I went down there and met all the coaches, and then we talked a little bit about G-Rob, just like how he's always around there golfing and everything. And it was really cool. He was really pumped for me. He was like, "You're gonna love it," and that's what I'm excited for.
I'm excited you guys can share that now. I love to kind of see guys do their thing and see it in motion. So let's get the ball in your hands and have you show us your grip. Sound good?
Yes, sir. So first, I got the 4-seam that I've always thrown. Throw it on the. I kind of space it out farther than keep it close. Some guys like it close, but I just feel like me as a lefty got that little funky run, especially with the wider fingers. So that's nice. And then I got the changeup, also kind of funky. I kind of throw it with like 2 fingers. It took me a while to figure it out, but I mean, you got to be able to have 3 pitches at the next level to be effective. So like, it's a good thing I figured it out. You got to really focus on the pronating part of it, but you also can't think about that too much. You kind of got to think fastball when you're throwing it, or you're gonna pull it over here. So, and then I got like a spiked curve, like knuckle curve type of pitch, but I mean, it's really been effective. But I think this is the pitch that could really go further, especially when I get to college, and they teach me about that. And then this is the 2-seam that I've been working on. But I've been moving around the grip, moving it here a little bit, just really focusing on ripping through the seams. But yeah, that's it.
Great stuff, Jackson, man. Absolutely appreciate it. If you're not already, make sure you follow LakePoint Sports on all our social media channels. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube, and you get so much more happening here on campus. Great conversation there with Jackson Rose. Again, his Etowah team trying to repeat here in the GHSA state playoffs. That's always a mouthful. The on-field action is just part of the offerings here at LakePoint Sports, where we effort to provide a best-in-class experience. That includes access to testing and player performance data that is redefining evaluation and recruiting. Curve Test Center gives athletes an unprecedented look at how they measure up through its ball, body, and brain approach to testing. Let's go inside the Curve Test Center.
We're here at LakePoint Sports, the site of the first Curve Test Center. There will be lots of Curve Test Centers, but this will always be the first. And why are we here? Here for a couple of reasons. One is if you think about the effort players are spending trying to get coaches to notice them, the effort coaches are spending trying to figure out who's actually any good, the poor parents who are sitting there saying, where's my kid headed? This is the answer for all that.
Everyone wants to be seen, right? Sometimes what can be seen is data. So it's hard to get in front of coaches at all these programs at once, or even the school you really want to go to. So using data helps us a ton. And as long as it's reliable and there's something that can give us better information with the small sample size is what we're looking for.
Test your athletic, cognitive, and baseball skills with TrackMan, Proteus, and more. Visit the Bubble or sign up now at curvetestcenter.com. Don't miss this chance to level up your game. Approaching our first pitch between B Baseball and Medlock Monarchs here in the 14U division of the Prep Baseball Challenge. You see the guys on the field there going through their pre-game routines. We're going to be having the Windscreen Factory starting lineups for you coming here shortly. We're going to take a quick break in here in studio. We'll rejoin you to tell you who's going to be starting for these two teams. Getting headed towards first pitch here between B Baseball and Medlock Monarchs. Let's go ahead and take a look at the starting lineups presented by the Windscreen Factory. B Baseball leading off with center fielder Walker Stevenson, then it's third baseman Noah Gaffney. Hitting third, the extra hitter Tyson Davis. Hitting fourth is first baseman Bryce Lovell. Hitting fifth is Braden Litchfield, the right fielder. Hitting sixth is Grayson Fleming playing shortstop. Hitting seventh is Kyler Ellenberg, the extra hitter. Hitting eighth and behind the plate is Mason Barrett. Hitting ninth is left fielder Dixon Horn. Hitting 10th is second baseman Luke Walton. Max Adam hitting 11th, and he'll be on the mound. Meanwhile, for Medlock Monarchs, Davis Dragon, the center fielder, leading off, followed by shortstop Langston Williams and his third baseman Charles Mercer. Nate Mickelvet hitting fourth and playing left field. Hitting fifth and playing first is Carter Weaver. Hitting sixth, second baseman Cole Davis, then right fielder Luke Ayers. Catcher Finley Schoenberg. Alex Green will be hitting 10th and being on the mound. And Collins Esom, number 11 hitter in the lineup, and the extra hitter. So we'll get headed towards first pitch here momentarily between B Baseball and Medlock Monarchs. We'll rejoin you as soon as we have our throwdown and get ready for this action from the Prep Baseball Challenge here from the LakePoint Sports Baseball Village. Welcome in to the LakePoint Sports Baseball Village. Cory McCartney now joined by Avery Hunt, who makes his triumphant return to the broadcast booth after a couple weeks off, and he's here for a matchup between B Baseball and the Medlock Monarchs. First pitch swinging from B Baseball's Walker Stevenson. That one's going foul. Avery, good to have you back, man. I know you had a break. You were itching to go. You were literally standing outside the studio, banging on the doors before anybody was here this morning. So the visual told me everything I needed to know that you're ready to roll.
That's it. Got to get it in. I'll be out of commission here in the next 2 weeks for a big important day in my life. So I decided to tie the knot here in 2 weeks. So got to get it in while I'm here before summer season starts. Got to get tuned up.
I thought you were gonna like go break in a glove or something. That's like that big. That's the big important thing for you. So, do you guys did you get like custom baseball gloves made or anything for
We
you guys?
did not.
No?
We have some custom golf balls.
Okay, I like that.
Made so for all of those that are in attendance. So we'll
Nice.
There's a putting green at the venue.
Wow,
so
that's impressive.
if you know me, that's all I needed to see when we walked in.
Alex Green on the mound for Medlock. Alex, 2028 on his way to Midtown High School. Second prep baseball event for him. Got a fastball up around 72, curveball 55 to 59 miles an hour. Also plays shortstop and second base. He's got a 2-2 count now to Stevenson. Make that a full count. Stevenson's going to be followed by Noah Gaffney and Tyson Davis. Medlock just played a game before this. They were matched up with 6-4 3DP, lost 5-4 in that one. That's the same team that B Baseball is going to be playing immediately after this. And Stevenson has a leadoff walk. You see some body English there from Green trying to will that into where he wanted it to be, but was not to be. And now he's going to be facing Noah Gaffney with the runner at first.
So really like the outfit the BE guys have on with
it's good stuff.
the dark gray with the light top and the light blue socks. Helps people like me that are a little color challenged, so that always helps.
It's a little Tar Heels-esque.
Yeah.
Gaffney at the plate, a Seconder 2029 third prep baseball event for him. Throw over at first base. Shortstop playing for Medlock right now, Langston Williams, a name to absolutely know, already penciled in for the Junior Future Games, Galloway School 2029. Miss inside from Green, having a little trouble finding the strike zone here on a start off this matchup.
It's turned out to be a pretty nice day here. Obviously,
Yeah.
if you were on site last night, it was nice for about an hour and 45 minutes, and then it got real unnice.
Well, I was not on campus last night, but coming in, there was mulch all over the walkway, so you could definitely tell it got pretty nasty here. An Emerson, Georgia runner taking off for second. Stevenson will easily have the bag.
Yeah, it was a midsummer storm. For those of you that have been here during our summer events,
those are no fun.
Those mid-afternoon summer storms.
Yeah, it'll be sunny and 90 degrees, and the next thing you know, there's lightning and all, the gods are coming down on us.
Yeah, I had to adjust things a little bit schedule-wise for the rest of the event, but looks like we're going to be able to pull it off as long as everything cooperates here in the next, 36 hours. We should be okay. So hopefully that takes place, but you cross your fingers.
That one, a delayed throwback to short, and that one goes into center field, but Stevenson stays put at second.
Just a little bit of miscommunication there, obviously, with the inside move. If you're the shortstop, you want to be coming in front of the bag there. Kind of got caught behind the runner, was, kind of blurred his vision a little bit while the ball got away.
Puts that one in play. It's on its way into left field and be hauled in for an out. The runner stays at second. So with one down, now Tyson Davis steps in. Davis, a Forsyth Central 2029 third prep baseball event for him.
The burning question, Cory.
Uh-oh.
Where's Shadur Sanders going today?
So it's been one of the craziest things to watch unfold, right? Because I heard Phil Simms, the obvious Hall of Fame Giants quarterback, talking about it on the way, and he said this is the reality of what happens when the media paints the picture of a player and then you get the NFL's take on the player in real time. Because during the combine process, Shadur Sanders said, I've got haters, blah, 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 don't listen to them. He's got 32 haters, and they are the GMs of NFL teams, and they have passed on him multiple times as we enter the third day of the draft, and he has yet to be picked entering the fourth round. I mean, it's mind-boggling. I think it tells you a lot about, reading some of the articles about how there was this perception of him coming out of interviews, how for some teams he was a different player than he was for other ones. These guys talk. Mm-hmm. I mean, they spent a lot of time, digging well into everything with these players. I feel like if the Steelers don't take him, I think he's going to the Cowboys. I think Jerry Jones is going to do a solid to his boy Deion Sanders, and he's going to wind up a backup for the Cowboys. But I saw some speculation last night. Does he go back to school? He doesn't have an agent. He never signed with an agent because the family's been representing themselves the entire time. He can't go back to Colorado. But would he be better off to go and put up some numbers for somebody else that's not his dad?
Yeah. Is there like I know the NBA, right? You can, like, for the NBA draft, you can declare, but like you said, not sign with an agent and just kind of feel your way through it. I think this could be very wrong. From my understanding is once you declare and say, hey, I filed the paperwork of I'm going in the draft in football, I think is that an option?
My understanding is the rules were somewhat changed last year.
I mean, basic college sports, especially in football and basketball now, are professional sports.
What's funny is the reality is he'll make more money going back and having NIL deals than he's going to make as a 4th or a 5th round draft pick and not even know if he has a roster spot.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's very interesting.
I mean, it's certainly a situation no one saw coming, but now it's the reality facing him and facing his family. He's obviously not in a situation like if you watched Derek Harmon, who was drafted by the Steelers at 21, his mom was literally on her deathbed. She died hours after he was picked. Saw the emotion from that defensive tackle from Oregon. That's not the situation for Shedeur. He could never play a down of football in his entire life. He'll be perfectly fine. He's not in that situation. He could say, yeah, I'm going to go to a different school. We'll worry about it all later. It's going to be fascinating to see how this thing plays out.
Absolutely. And I think it could be a situation, too, with him. I mean, I consider myself, I watch a good bit of college football, but, some of the guys that have been taken in front of him.
Dylan Gabriel was the one for me when it was like, okay, they don't like him. Because you're talking about a guy who, Jalen Milroe is a running quarterback. Shedeur Sanders is not a mobile quarterback. So then it becomes, if he's a pocket passer, does the team that needs a pot? Well, guess what? The Cleveland Browns said Dylan Gabriel is a more enticing player to us.
Yeah, and Dylan Gabriel's my age.
Yeah.
Like, Dylan Gabriel's been in college
25 years,
forever.
Yeah.
So he's 2 years younger than me, but still, that it's an interesting situation. I think maybe guys think, like, hey, team X, Y, and Z, if there's 25 teams that don't want to draft him, like, let's get what we need early and then get him later. Almost like I can get him in the 5th. Why am I going to draft him in the 3rd? I can fill another need.
I feel like we're still looking at the situation where there's so many great players out there that fit immediate team needs. If you need a backup quarterback, you're not going to be wasting draft capital on him. So this has gotten real, and it's gotten really interesting, and it's literally the biggest news in sports right now for a kid that is it's fascinating. We've had 5 quarterbacks off the board, and we're still talking about a guy
who 2 months ago was like, who's going 1 and who's going 2 between him and Cam Ward.
Yeah, it's
hey,
crazy.
I mean, sure, the Falcons will take him. Why not? You need another quarterback
for it. Yeah,
sure. Let's have 4 guys on the roster.
We've got Bryce Lovell at the plate right now. Cherokee Bluff 2028 swings through that one.
Both runners went with a 3-2 count and only 1 out. So with first base being occupied, the hitter is out, but they'll have second and third with 2 outs now.
All right, so the drop third instances where it results in and outs. There's now 2 down, and with Bryce Lovell down, now we see Braden Litchfield. Litchfield Jefferson 2028. Jefferson had a draft pick on the opening day of the NFL draft.
Yep, Malachi Starks, Georgia Bulldog. Actually, through mutual friends, have got to be around him and his fiance some, so super happy for those guys. And obviously, Baltimore's a good spot if you want to play defense.
That's right. Yeah, big doings for Jefferson because you mentioned Starks, and they've got Eston Simpson, who's on his way to Clemson, former Future Games Most Valuable Pitcher.
Over in my neck of the woods now, about 10 minutes from my house, Jefferson High School. It was actually last weekend. Went to an Easter service at our church. They hosted at Jefferson High School's football stadium. So big crowd there last Sunday. So that was good to see.
Do they end? So when you go to a church service at a football field, do they end it with Oklahoma drills?
I tried to get the the Georgia Bulldog chant. If you're a Georgia fan, one side of the stadium yells Georgia, the other side yells Bulldogs right at the beginning. But couldn't get any dice there. It's get some mixed bag. Not everybody's a Georgia fan in that.
Well,
area.
if you would have done like praise the Lord, maybe that would have worked. Maybe that would have been more the crowd. 3-1 is the count here to Litchfield. Sends that one foul. No one's gonna be able to make a play on that. Count will now be full. Rise Hoops in action today. The 100 session 2 going on. So if you're able to make it over and take in some hoops, Rise has got you covered all weekend long. Full count here to Litchfield, 2 down in the inning. Still scoreless. Lots of traffic on the base pass though for B baseball. I believe that's ball 4, right? Nope, now we're full. Giving him an extra one. Litchfield ropes that 90.4 off his bat, but it goes foul.
It was all over that one. Obviously, you can see by the exit velo in the top right-hand corner, 90 miles an hour down that third base line.
This guy's another one foul. If Litchfield gets on, we'll see Grayson Fleming, the shortstop. Signal from the umpire that we need some more baseballs. We had this debate during last week's Easter Challenge broadcast, you being a guy who spends so much time around the umpires. They wear black, yet we continue to call them blue. Do you have another option? What should we be referring to these umpires as, because they don't wear blue anymore?
It's something, obviously, with the United group that we use, they obviously go with the black hat with the U on it. So a lot of guys go with just a black generic. Obviously, if you go to a GHSA game, those guys are in light blue, so you can still call them blue. The big league guys wear black. So I don't know. I think they answer to a lot of different names, I'm sure, that get yelled at them, but I
thought you were going to tell me they should call them you. Hey, you.
Yeah,
because
hey,
it says you. Yeah,
that's a good one too. That probably wouldn't go over real well.
Probably not. Grayson Fleming at the plate now. 2029 third prep baseball event for this 5'6", 125-pounder.
Thought we were going to open the can of worms of the baseball discussion and getting them down there.
Oh, no.
That's this broadcast isn't long enough for my opinions.
Well, I still think we should take a page out of a bank and we should just have like a contraption that they just kind of, you put the ball in there and it flies down.
Yeah,
like the tube
when you pull up to the window.
Yeah, that should be like that.
ATMs and all the virtual things now. I don't know is that still a thing. I know in small town where I'm from, it's still a thing.
Yeah,
because we're 10 years behind everybody. But
there's still banks around me that are like that. Fleming ropes that into right field. That's going to be trouble. Grayson Fleming's going to be on the run. Here comes one run for B baseball. Here comes a second run. Fleming on his way to second base. He's going to hold there. He's not. We're going to have a tie-up. Nope. A third run. Grayson Fleming's got himself a 3-run triple. Cam Utter, coach, going over there to dab him up, and B baseball on the board and in control here in the first.
Yeah, looked like we're going to have a traffic jam there rounding third base, but the turf monster came up and got the runner on first, but he was able to gather himself a little bit and make it home safely and get a 3 RBI triple to get this day started here for BE.
Big things in small packages. Grayson Fleming, 5'6", 125-pounder, but coming up big time. Talked to him before the game. He has on one of those bling bead necklaces. He says his little sister tries to take it all the time, wear it to school, so he has to hide it and act like it doesn't exist. Now got Kyler Eilenberg at the plate. He's got him some fresh New Balance shoes. Said they had to go down to Dick's Sporting Goods, literally take them off a mannequin because his size 13s, they didn't have any available, so sends that one back foul. Coach Cam Utter was telling me that when he first got Eilenberg, he was about 5'8", and he's now had 2 growth spurts, and he is at 6'2", 175 pounds now.
It's a good growth spurt to have.
Yeah, 2 in the last year. He's a Buford 2029
sure,
baseball event.
Sure, his parents have spent a lot of times at places like Dick's Sporting Goods retooling the closet.
Well, you got size 13s. I would say there's probably a couple more inches left. Pretty big shoes. This team, I think this B baseball team has more hoods under the jerseys than I've seen collectively on any team yet.
It's a little warm today for the hood under the jersey, I think, too. You know, it's turned out to be a pretty nice day. The fog cleared out early, but, yeah, it might be a little warm for the hood.
Ellenberg's got himself a 2-out walk, and that'll bring up catcher Mason Barrett. Might be the end of the day for Green, so I might have an early pitching change for Medlock. We do, as we have our second mound visit of the first inning. B baseball leads 3-0. We'll be back with more. You're watching the Prep Baseball Challenge. We'll tell you about the new pitcher when we come back.
Grilling is an art. Don't forget to add sausage, Picasso. Keep it juicy.
Jump to the jam, boogie woogie jam slam, bust the dialect. I'm the man in command. Come flow with the sounds of the mighty.
Give you some intel on our new pitcher here for Medlock Monarchs. This is Collins Easom. Easom Lakeside 2029, second prep baseball event for this 5'9", 130-pound righty. He inherits a 3-0 deficit runners at the corners here. We've got Grayson Fleming at third off of his 3-run triple, his early bid for player of the game, and we've got Kyler Eilenberg at first off a walk. Once Easom's ready to roll, he'll be facing Mason Barrett with 2 on and 2 down. We just had an interesting question from producer Maddie Bullock. Maddie, why don't you go ahead and unmute yourself and give us the question again?
I was curious as to if the hoods are serving a purpose or they're just aesthetically pleasing.
My take, I have two. Number one is that they just think they look cool, and number two is that it's an almost superhero-esque ability for them to put their cape on and go out there, and you think about an alter ego when you step on the field. That's at least what I think, because you're literally not going to throw a hood up at any point. As you mentioned, get out the shiesties for the cold games. I think your $1 million business strategy is to build a shiesty into the hood. That's it. That's the key. Or, you know, this is going to sound really old for me, but you know, as the kids say, it's drip or drown. So it's just all about the drip. If you can name what artist sings that song, you know, we'll give you a prize of some sort. I'll let Cory decide. Oh man, I nearly had a collision, but second baseman's able to haul that in as he makes his way into right field. We'll talk more drip or drown here. And we're going to run through some bars as we take a commercial break. You're watching the Prep Baseball Challenge. B Baseball leads 3-0 over Medlock Monarchs.
Next. Next. Stop.
You got it?
No. Keep going.
Again.
Next. Next.
If you don't pick one.
Oh, you have time. Am I keeping you from your job? Next. I don't even know where I am anymore. Stop.
Do we finally have it?
Let's go back to the beginning.
Are you
Your
joking?
electric future customized. The fully electric Audi Q4 e-tron.
Making every second count. That is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water. Water for the athlete in all of us.
This is ready to go online. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. How about the best network imaginable? Let's invent that.
That's what we do here.
Quick survey. Who wants their internet to work pretty much everywhere? And it needs to run smooth, like super, 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 super smooth.
Hey, should you be drinking that?
It's decaf. Because we're busy women. We don't have time for lag or buffering.
Who doesn't want internet that helps AI do your homework even faster?
Come again?
Sorry, what was that?
Introducing the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now.
Welcome back to the Prep Baseball Challenge. Cory McCartney, Avery Hunt with you. B Baseball leads 3-0 over Medlock Monarchs. Long inning for B Baseball at the plate to start things off. Medlock, though, going to be led off by the incredibly awesome name Davis Dragon.
That's a great
That's a great name. Yeah, Langston Williams and then Charles Mercer. Dragon steps in. I always, as you know, look for a name that most sounds like an action hero. It's kind of hard to beat Davis Dragon.
Yeah, I think that's our winner today.
Yeah.
I haven't looked completely through, but I think that's probably the candidate for today.
I mean, that sounds like a kung fu movie.
Yeah, it does.
North Atlanta 2028, second prep baseball event for him. He skies that one into right field. The fielder has it himself. That'll be one down very quickly for Medlock, and that's going to bring up Langston Williams. Mentioned Langston already locked in for the junior future games. He was also at Rising Stars preseason All-State in March. Galloway School 2029. Playing shortstop today for Medlock. I feel like the Davis Dragon story would be like his town is being, run over by these bad dudes, and he's got to, his family's been taken away from him. And he's got to go in there and level,
learn it and be able to practice in some sort of competition, or if he wins, the town's saved.
That's right. All right, we've got the Davis Dragon story all penciled in. We'll take the movie rights as we watch Langston Williams.
Universal Studios, if you're tuned in, give us a call.
That's right. We've got unfettered access to Davis Dragon today.
All I know is if my name was Davis Dragon, my walk-up song would be the Game of Thrones theme.
Oh, that would be pretty good, yeah. What's the new show is
House of the Dragon.
Yeah, well, that's literally where he lives.
Yeah. He's a Targaryen,
yeah,
for
that's
real.
Right. Charles Mercer now at the plate with 2 down. Missed glove side. Got on the mound right now for B Baseball, Max Adam, and that's actually would be another cool. That would be a very close second. So Davis Dragon, Max Adam.
Yep, in relation to Jason Adam, big league pitcher for the Padres. I wonder if there's any connection there.
That could well be a Buford 2029. Although I feel like how bad Black Adam was kind of like hurts Max Adam as an action hero. Another missed glove side. Counts now 2-1. I know you don't watch, but I was actually upset that The Rock didn't make an appearance at WrestleMania last weekend. I literally was locked in. We watched 8 hours of wrestling last weekend in my house. So
that's I can probably say you watched more wrestling last weekend than I've consumed in my time here on Earth.
My unfortunate upbringing included 2 grandfathers that watched it up until the end. So it's kind of how it was. Watched baseball, football, and then they had to watch their wrestling. So that's the way it goes.
That's how you know it's good if it's wrestling, not wrestling.
When you remove the R, you move the W and place an R in front of it. You know it's another level.
RASTILNG.
Yeah.
Wrestling.
My one grandfather used to drive me crazy when he would call Ric Flair my guy because I wanted nothing to. And then, when you're young, Ric Flair's a bad guy.
Yeah.
Goes down on strikes. Max Adam coming correct and bringing it into that one. B Baseball continues to lead 3-0. We are through 1 inning. You're watching the Prep Baseball Challenge from LakePoint Sports.
Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
We've got Dixon Horn, Luke Walton, and Max Adam coming to the plate for B baseball here in the top of the second inning. They lead 3-0 over Medlock Monarchs. You're watching the Prep Baseball Challenge from LakePoint Sports Baseball Village. Cory McCartney and Avery Hunt with you. Occasionally hear from producer Maddie Bullock as well. Had a pitching change for Medlock in the first inning. We saw Colin Easom take over. He's continuing on the mound here through just one pitch. Collins did in that first inning.
It's about as efficient as you can be coming out of the bullpen.
Seriously.
One pitch, one out, let's go sit down. I think if he can continue that trend for the rest of the ball game, everybody involved would be thrilled.
That's more immaculate than, you know, the 9-pitch strikeouts would be a 3-pitch inning.
Absolutely.
Well, he's working on it. Here's the second pitch, and that one is skied in right field. Nearly had a collision, but that's caught for the first out. 2 pitches, 2 outs for Collins Easom. Efficient is the optimum word here.
Yeah, come in. We've thrown 2 pitches, got 2 outs. If you're B, do we just go automatic take here? Hey, let's see one in the zone. You know, just deep breath, see one in.
So Dixon Horn from Bethlehem Christian Academy skies out. We go from Horn to Luke Walton. North Gwinnett 2029.
Oh.
Wow.
Just got to put that ball in play.
Yeah.
Got to keep the streak alive.
Luke's listed at 4'10", so the strike zone is minuscule, to say the least. Comes the 1-0. Oh, man, he's thrown as many pitches to Luke Walton as he's thrown to the 2 previous hitters.
We got to get in Luke's ear. Hey, man, got to swing it. Got to swing it. We got a narrative here.
Luke's got that pencil bat. I talked to him a little bit about this pregame, because Victus now has a wood version of that as well, which I sort of wonder is that one is going foul. Is it going to be caught? It will not. This AB will continue for Luke. They've now got a wooden version of that, which I wonder if they have like giant pencil sharpeners.
Yeah.
that would be a pretty great Easter egg on the baseball pencil bat. Is if you literally could use it as it has a real working eraser on the top of it.
And the green part's actually metal. But
yeah.
Hey, that's the barrel. We got to get it
right,
there.
yeah.
Got to hit it off the metal.
That would be illegal in a wood bat tournament, though, right?
Yes. I'm sure that could cause me a lot of issues,
yeah.
I'm sure. And I'd have to be the bad guy. You know, I spent $250 on this bat and I can't use it.
They should make one that looks like a Sharpie.
Yeah.
Like a gray one. That would be pretty sweet with a black top on it. But it wouldn't have. You couldn't have like the plastic piece hanging over the side of it for the clip. But I'm sure they could work their way around that. That'd be a good sponsorship for Sharpie to get in with Victus.
You know, if you fidget with things like I do when I'm working, you know, that little piece on the end
it breaks off.
Oh, that's broken off in the first 5 minutes of that Sharpie coming out of the pack.
Well, if it was on a bat though, I think that would be danger to have it.
That'd probably fly off pretty quick.
Yeah. All right, so Walton draws a 1-out walk, and now here's Max Adam, the 11th hitter, last hitter in the order for B baseball.
Ooh. Good reaction times on the mound there. The throwback from the pickoff attempt.
I like how he just kind of glanced over at you when he did that. You know, that's a throwback call right there. If you missed it, we were trying to come up with a new name for umpires, and they were used on their hats.
So just glancing at his first baseman, like, hey, man, pitching's hard enough. Let's hit me in the chest.
Don't do me like that.
Yeah. As a former catcher, you know, you get 4 or 5 balls in the dirt, you skip one back in the mound. I'm like, hey, man, let's get it together up there. Did that a couple times. Pitcher's usually not a big fan.
No.
But, you know, they'll get over it and piss them off a little bit.
Max Adam at the plate. Buford 2029 watches that one sail high. Counts now even at 1-1.
Objectively, I think catcher is one of the worst positions to play.
You have to have a different mentality back there.
Got to be built different to be a catcher.
voluntarily put your body in front of,
Ooh, nice grab there.
80 to 90 mile an hour fastballs in the dirt.
Yeah. Finley Schoenberg behind the plate showing some athleticism as he reached up to grab that one.
So former catcher, look, I'm perfectly fine with the breaking ball in the dirt. I can live with breaking ball in the dirt. We're spiking fastballs, then we need to have a conversation.
Second baseman has it, throws this one out to Williams, but pulls him off the bag at first. They can't complete the double play. Smartly getting the lead runner.
Yeah, good play there by the second baseman. Obviously, that ball wasn't hit overly hard, but didn't rush himself, fielded it, got a nice turn, and gave a good feed to the shortstop there. Obviously, didn't get the double play, just wasn't hit hard enough, but anytime you can get the lead runner is a good thing.
When you have that time period here in Georgia when they start the high school baseball season in February and you've got that extra gear on, does it keep you any warmer?
No, I hated it. I was the crazy person in 30-degree weather that was dressed like it was 85. So,
wild pitch, runner taken off for second. He'll easily have the bag.
You can ask my fiance. I like to live in a refrigerator or a freezer all the time. So I was normally okay. You get in the game, you get warm. But obviously, you're on the bench. Hey, double hoodies. We're warm if we're not playing.
Should have like fur-lined catcher gear for like the frigid temperatures, right? Put some some animal skin back there behind there, or like the fluffy stuff, and that'll.
PETA would probably get mad about that.
Well, they probably would, but you can have like the faux fur back there.
They get mad about anything.
Or you could have like just the like a blanket kind of texture back there. Flannel, you could have flannel lined catcher's gear. Walker Stevenson got a 2-0 count, walked in his first AB, flicks that one back foul. Stevenson Lanier High School 2029. Third prep baseball event for him. A lot of these B baseball players, this is their third time here at LakePoint Sports. 2-1 count. One's in the dirt. Now here 3-1. Collins Easom on the mound. Stevenson at the plate. Miss inside. I thought that was ball. Did they give him a strike on that?
I think we're either our scoreboard's ahead or I'm not sure what's going on here.
All right, well, the count is now 3-1. Now it's ball 4, and another base runner aboard for B baseball. Noah Gaffney now steps in, 2 down. And some long ABs so far in these first 2 innings for B baseball. All right, Gaffney, who's 0 for 1, steps in. Runner takes off for second. Nobody's biting.
Good block there behind the plate to keep the runner at third.
All right, now 1-0 count here to Gaffney. Make it 2-0. Got 6-4-3 watching. Again, they're going to be playing B baseball immediately after this. They just won 5-4 over Medlock in the previous game. Comes a 2-0. Another miss. That one gets away from the catcher. Is a runner going to score? He, in fact, does. Plops across the plate and makes it 4-0 B baseball here in the second inning.
Almost a little scorpion action there on the slide in. Any Braves fan watched Austin Riley slide in a couple nights ago? The old face plant right to the dirt.
Austin Riley showing some speed last week.
I know. It's nice to see the Braves having a pulse again, so I'm sure all the Metro Atlanta people are happy that they've started to play a little bit better baseball.
Well, the tickets are easier to get when they're not playing well.
It's true. I mean, we didn't use free agent money because we had to buy the thing. I thought that was on Twitter a couple weeks ago. That
the parking for parking.
That's why we didn't go sign any guys.
That's right. Didn't quite work like that, but
yeah, I don't think that math makes sense. But okay.
Tyson Davis at the plate dances his way out of the path of that one. Did he just tell himself, eat it, eat it, eat it?
Yeah. Looks like he's telling himself should have wore that one.
Yeah.
So good for him.
All right, well, Davis gets out of the path of that ball and counts now 1-0. He's got runners at second and third. B-Baseball leads 4-0 here in the second inning, 2 outs. Another miss inside, make it 2-0. .22 pitches for Eastham, 21 here in this inning. Now 3-0 count.
I've seen Medlock really, when they're in the strike zone, they're competing really well. Obviously, just both pitchers so far, just losing command a little bit, which makes it tough on the defense standing out there and see if they can't get back in the zone. There's
one for a strike. We had an oddity of a game last week during the Easter Challenge. No strikeouts.
The entire game?
The entire game. Not a single strikeout. Had to combine 4 walks. No strikeouts.
It's good pitching.
Yeah.
I mean, good pitching and good approach at the plate, I guess. Combo of the two.
Yeah, we had a ton of hits in that one. I mean, it was a great game, but man, it was certainly weird to see no strikeouts in one of these games, because you think at some point they played 6 innings. Across 6 innings, someone's going to wind up with a strikeout, but it did not happen. We now have a bases loaded situation here for B-Baseball as Tyson Davis draws the walk, and it's going to bring up Bryce Lovell. Let's see if we have another pitching change for Medlock. Or if this is just a regroup session.
Just let him catch his breath a little bit here. He's missing arm side a little bit, maybe behind the plate. Give him an outside target. Kind of, give him something different to aim at. Don't, allow him to be able to kind of refocus his sights a little bit. So
sometimes it can be as easy as a kid just loading up on a different part of the rubber too.
Mm-hmm.
If you're consistently sailing off to one side.
Yeah, as a catcher, I always thought, hey, let's just give him a different target. Give him something else to aim at. So
today, April 26th, you may not be aware of this or not, Avery, is National Pretzel Day. We, of course, have pretzels at the LakePoint Sports Concession Stand. So we've got a delivery coming in. Go ahead and bring these on in here. We've got soft pretzel delivery.
Nice.
Thank you so much. Yeah, these are obviously available at our concession stands. So we've got soft pretzels, and it's going to bring a debate here, Avery. So I will say, I'm going to throw this out there now that I want to take people too far into my eating habits. I rarely eat bread, and I definitely don't eat cheese. I haven't had cheese like this in a very, very long time. So I'm going to let you have the double dips on the cheese, but we've got soft pretzels. So we're going to go ahead and dig in. Again, we got pretzel day, got these hot delivery. Man, these things are still warm.
Yeah, this is good stuff.
Yep. All right, so we've got celebrating. You're not supposed to talk with food in your mouth. They're fantastic, by the way.
Yeah, nice and warm.
All right, so the dipping sauce is the Land O'Lakes Ultimate Cheddar Cheese Dip. So we don't have the marinara sauce, but so there's typically mustard, cheese, and marinara. Where are you at on the dipping sauce for pretzels?
I'm strictly mustard guy. I even like the dry, just normal out of the bag pretzels with some good mustard. It's a good combo.
If I'm going to do them, I would say I would largely do the marinara because I don't eat cheese, but these are fantastic, by the way. So that walk's going to make it 5-0 for B-Baseball, and we appreciate our F&B bringing us these pretzels and our delivery here. That's how you get it done.
That's it. A nice second inning pretzel delivery.
I don't know that we're going to be able to do this every game, that we're going to always have a second inning pretzel delivery, but I'm glad that you were. So this was another reason why we had to wait till you came back before we could have National Pretzel Day. But
good
highly recommend.
Good scheduling on my part.
Yeah, anybody who's watching, go hit our concession stands in both Scout Towers. Also over the Champion Center, get yourself a soft pretzel for National Pretzel Day. So appreciate Carlos and the F&B team hooking us up here.
This is quality stuff.
And everyone is so excited to watch us eat pretzels on
like the
live air.
seventh inning stretch almost.
I think the quote, George Costanza, these pretzels are making me thirsty. There you go.
Sonny, also have these at the concession stand. Pop in.
There you go. Yeah, so you can't do like the dry. You can't celebrate National Pretzel Day with like the dry pretzels.
Yeah, 100%.
You can't do like a bag of pretzels. You gotta do the real thing, which neither one of us have gotten into the cheese sauce yet.
I'm anti-cheese as well.
Okay.
When I can be. Usually doesn't sit well. Three-two count here. Runners will be in motion with 2 outs.
I'm not quite sure what the combination of coffee and soft pretzel is going to be like, but we're going to find out.
I've never tried it.
Well, I have an affinity for donuts, which is like the one thing I actually do. So you get like the donut. We have National Donut Day too. Is another run's going to score for B baseball, make it 6-0. That should be that's the real celebration. But very much in line here with National Pretzel Day. Where does a pretzel rank for you on like ballpark food?
A good hot one like this, probably 4 or 5. Yeah, I mean, hot dog 1, popcorn 2. The Braves game, get the long pizza.
Okay.
3, probably then pretzel. Well, peanuts are in there too.
It's top 5 though, right?
Yeah, it's top 5.
All right. So I mentioned it's National Pretzel Day, and I've mentioned our take on the debate. So he's Team Mustard, I'm Team Marinara. Matty Bullock hit campus to find out which camp athletes are in.
I dip my soft pretzels in queso. I like my pretzels plain. I dip my soft pretzels in cheese.
Cheese. Mustard.
Cheese.
Mustard.
I like cheese.
I'll prefer mustard.
So cheese, the winner there amongst the athletes. So if any of them want to come over here and take our cheese, they have the opportunity to come in here and dip away. They may not want to have the pretzel that we've been chomping on, but they may want our ultimate cheese dip. We have a pitching change for Medlock Monarchs as they trail 6-0 here in the top of the 2nd inning. Davis Dragon steps in to save them all here with 2 down in the inning. Dragon, North Atlanta 2028. Got a fastball up around 70, so we'll see what this lefty's got in store here for this B baseball lineup. I like the kind of low 3/4 delivery. Shooter Hunt and I were doing one of our run-throughs on must-see 2027s. We were focused in on kids from Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, the Dakotas. We had a kid who had that cross-body Josh Hader. You don't see that too often, or see somebody who can consistently throw strikes with it, because your vantage point is taken so far off of your target when you kind of pull around like that. But it's a sight to behold when someone can pull it off with consistency.
Yeah, you think Josh Hader, Chris Sale, obviously with the Braves. You might have to pay me $10 million to get in the box against Chris Sale. I have and I have to make contact when the ball is starting behind me and it's 97, and then he throws a slider that breaks 2 feet. I'm out.
Sometimes at this juncture of the season, though, sometimes I'm not sure Chris Sale knows where the ball going.
Yeah, so far. Looked better last night. A lot of pitches, but, yeah, that's an at-bat. Hader as well. Obviously, Hader throws the 2-seam sinker, that cuts in on left-handed hitters. Those are 2 guys that I'm good. It's one of those at-bats you just go up there and it's like,
just hold on for dear life.
Pray to God he throws 4 balls before he throws 3 strikes.
Grayson Fleming steps in. Last time we saw Grayson, he had himself a 3-run triple. Let's see what he's got in store here. A 6-0 lead for his B baseball squad. As we see the first offering from Dragon. Like the aggressive setup from Dragon. 0-1 gets away from the catcher, but nobody's going anywhere. He even fake the throw over to first.
It's a good stop there to save another run. If you're Medlock here, you just got to get out of this jam and try and add on at least a couple runs next inning, kind of keep the boys in it. You know, if you're big thing for them, just pitching staff, throwing strikes, giving the offense a chance to kind of fight back in this thing.
Yeah, I mean, Medlock to this point, right, and that's in for a strike from Dragon. You're just wanting this game not to get away from you.
Just trying to piece it together and claw back one by one.
And they had an exceptionally quick inning for the top of their lineup, so they'll have Nate Mickelvet, their left fielder, only the 4th hitter in their lineup when they get a chance to bat here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Can't lay off that elevated pitch from Dragon. Count now 1-2. Fleming wants player of the game bad. Can't lay off that elevated fastball. All right, here comes the 1-2. Lays off at that time, count now even. All right, so we've established that the soft pretzel on National Pretzel Day is in the top 5 on ballpark. What's the best ballpark food you've ever had?
Ooh, I gotta think about it. So I went to Denver last May, I think a year ago, like this weekend, maybe next weekend, don't know. And I in the Rocky Stadium at Coors Field, they had a hot dog that had like tater tots on it and like barbecue sauce, and then it came with like a side of fries or whatever, and that was probably the best ballpark food I've ever had. And it was a very top end. Obviously, the Brave Stadium. Anytime you go to a Brave Stadium and get a Waffle House hash browns like that, that's a good combo. But yeah, I think that the ballpark dog and Denver, Colorado, of all places, is.
We had another walk. It's now 7-0 B baseball. I will say, if you ever have a chance to get into the Delta Club at Truist Park, they have a guy who makes sushi on site. And if you think about, that's probably not something that you would typically think about you would need to have at a baseball game. But they have these rainbow rolls there and all that stuff. It's fantastic. And you know, having been a Major League Baseball reporter for a long time, you got to get sick of the traditional ballpark fare. So while I find and understand how great a ballpark hot dog can be, after a number of games in years,
gets old.
So the ballpark sushi, that's where it's at.
So I've been lucky enough to maneuver my way into the Delta Club a few times, and I guess I'm looking in the wrong spots.
Well, so we would have the press credentials. You can go anywhere you want, right? So it's not like you had to have a specific ticket. We would just go wherever we wanted to. That was a nasty breaking ball from Dragon, by the way. You find your way out to all the little spots. Not that you're going to go down to like the Jack Daniels, area.
I found that in the Delta Club, it can get dangerously. You can have a dangerous amount of food quickly.
Yep. Oh, that one's in play, going down the right side. Here comes a run for B baseball and make it 2 off that hit from Ellenberg. Got himself a 2-run single. B baseball in control here in the 2nd inning. He's now 2 for 2 on the day, by the way.
A really good piece of hitting there against the lefty. Staying to the opposite field, taking that right center approach and driving that ball in the 3-4 hole for a 2 RBI single to kind of keep the line moving here.
Now 9-0 B baseball here in the top of the 2nd inning.
But any time that you can not leave your seat and they will bring you just about anything you want is.
Well, we've now created that scenario here.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? You were literally sitting here in the broadcast booth and had a soft pretzel delivered to you to celebrate National Pretzel Day. So we've set a precedent here.
Yep.
So now you can think about it as mobile ordering.
That's it.
If you want something else, we'll dial it up. There is I will only say this. We'll use it. I feel like this is like when the actors know about what's going to happen in the Marvel movie and they don't want to tell everybody. There is a monstrosity in the food division that's coming here. this summer I think that a lot of people are going to be talking about, and I'm going to leave it at that. It is of the burger variety.
Okay.
Oh, man, gets away from third baseman, and that dribbles into left field. One run comes in for B baseball. They're going to have a play at the plate. They get Ellenberg, and that's going to bring an end to the inning, but another run did score. So B baseball in control here. You're watching the Prep Baseball Challenge. We'll be back with more from LakePoint Sports.
Next. Next. Stop.
You got it?
No. Keep going.
Again.
Next. Next.
If you don't pick one.
Oh, you have time. Am I keeping you from your job? Next. I don't even know where I am anymore. Stop.
Do we finally have it?
Let's go back to the beginning.
Are you
Your
joking?
electric future customized. The fully electric Audi Q4 e-tron.
Making every second count. That is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water. Water for the athlete in all of us.
This is ready to go online. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. How about the best network imaginable? Let's invent that.
That's what we do here.
Quick survey. Who wants their internet to work pretty much everywhere?
And it needs to run smooth, like super smooth.
Hey, should you be drinking that?
It's decaf.
Because we're busy women. We don't have time for lag or buffering.
Who doesn't want internet that helps AI do your homework even faster?
Come again?
Sorry, what was that?
Introducing the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now.
Welcome back to LakePoint Sports. 10-0 is the lead for B baseball. Man, we saw Max Adam got a long layoff there in between trips to the mound. He's got a comfortable lead here against this Medlock Monarchs team. See if they can get something started. B baseball, 10 runs on 3 hits. I think Mickelvet's going to lead things off, followed by Carter Weaver and Cole Davidson. Cory McCartney, Avery Hunt with you. Is still got a little bit. Your pretzel, soft pretzels, you have less remaining than I do, but I don't want to. People don't want to keep seeing me eat on live TV. So
it's a little early in my day to finish that soft pretzel, I think. So,
well, we're more than happy to see a delivery there from our F&B team. Nate Mickelvet at the plate, Lakeside 2029. Were you surprised to see that Cheese was that's one roped into left field on the run? Oh, nearly had a fantastic catch in left field, but Nate Mickelvet's going to be aboard, and that's exactly what Medlock Monarchs need here in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, to find out that it was cheese. I think I've seen enough people get them here to know that it comes with cheese. But yeah, I would have, me personally, just a little couple mustard packets. We solve all the problems.
I thought marinara would at least have some marinara stands in this mix, but we did not.
I don't know that I've ever had one with marinara, to be completely honest with you.
That just seems to me like the more natural thing than cheese. The cheese is so messy.
That's true.
Maddie, you haven't even weighed in. You were the one who went around and talked to all these athletes and found out what they thought the best dipping sauce was. What's your take on the best dipping sauce for a soft pretzel?
I like my soft pretzels plain.
Okay.
Because I just like them being salty. But I do think that ranch would be good.
Ooh, there you go.
Ranch is good on anything.
Exactly. I think it would be really good.
Oh, man, he ripped that ball 80.7 off his bat. That's going to be all kinds of trouble. Weaver's on his way to second base. Is Medlock Monarch going to get on the board? They, in fact, do. Weaver's on his way into third base. The throw is in time. They did not get him. A RBI triple for Weaver. It's now 10-1 B baseball here in the second.
Really good slide there. You see a lot of big league guys now going with the slide or with the swim, and he had a little swim go on there and was able to, evade that tag at third to get the ball rolling here for Medlock.
Yeah, Decatur's Carter Weaver now on third, and Medlock Monarchs got themselves a sorely needed run here in the second. Swing and a miss. Now see Cole Davidson at the plate. I do. I will say though, I think the little discussed MVP of the soft pretzel game is the one with cinnamon on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Because then you don't need any dipping sauce. I guess you could do like icing. Now that would be that's an entirely different animal. Yeah, that's a dessert. You take a cinnamon soft pretzel. Now some of the places will have the soft pretzel and they'll have like you can dip it in salt or you can dip it in cinnamon. We should get our F&B department to do that.
I think I'm with Maddie. You can throw ranch on just about anything, and it's a winner.
Now I say I don't really eat cheese. I do like blue cheese, but I don't know if blue cheese on a pretzel would be what that would be like. I am a crumble blue cheese person, but do not give me like the liquid dipping blue cheese. I'm out on. I like that on wings.
Yeah.
So I would go blue cheese over ranch if it was like National Wings Day and they were to deliver like a bunch of wings. That would be my pick. At that point.
You're from Ohio.
Yes.
That's my reasoning for you being a blue. Anybody that's not from the South, I think, is blue cheese when they go wings.
Huh.
That's my take on it.
All right. Well, you're a Georgian. Maddie's a Georgian. Maddie, where are you on that?
I am very anti blue cheese. I'm not a fan. It tastes like almost like fruit to me for some reason. I'm ranch all the way for wings, for fries, for pizza, everything.
Go to Costco, wears out the Hidden Valley section.
There you go.
She's got a big bottle.
Two of the best ranches are from Taco Mac, the restaurant with like wings and everything, and Wingstop Ranch.
Okay.
David Sharp, our PBR,
Baseball Alabama,
our Alabama guy. Every time he comes, man, he's locked in at Taco Mac, and he has a very similar take on their ranch. He's like, dude, this is the best ranch I've ever had, and it's not Wingstop Ranch, but it's pretty good. Wingstop Ranch is 10 out of 10.
Well, Jet's Pizza Ranch is a very popular one in my house. Literally, instead of going to buy ranch, they'll go to Jet's Pizza and buy a bottle of ranch from Jet's Pizza.
That's smart. If you get a good, that's key. You have to find a good one and stick with it. My mom makes, obviously she's in the food industry. She makes homemade ranch, and that's better than the Hidden Valleys and the Kens, in my opinion.
The Valley's not hidden to your mother.
No,
is what you're saying.
No, she's locked in. But that's your Saturday morning ranch conversation. Okay. If anybody has anything else for us, let us know.
We just saw a walk from Cole Davidson. That's going to bring up Luke Ayers. Medlock Monarchs trying to eat into this big lead for B baseball. Dribbler, that's not going to have a play at all. Gaffney tries to throw it to first in time, and valiant effort, but the runner will be safe, and the bases are now loaded for Medlock.
Didn't hit it very hard, but hit it in a weird spot in the infield. Just got by the pitcher, and unfortunately for B, wasn't able to get him at first. But if you're Medlock, you got bases loaded, nobody out here, good time to answer.
It's going to bring up Finley Schoenberg. Or excuse me, not Finley Schoenberg. That's going to be Gilmer. We already had a change in the lineup for Medlock. This was supposed to be Finley Schoenberg's spot in the order. Instead, that's going to be Greg Gilmer, number 32, stepping to the plate. 2029 St. Pius X. 5'5", 125-pound righty. Trying to make something happen here as nobody's out. Medlock trying to answer what's been a hot start for B baseball.
Good stop there behind the plate. Just keep that runner at third base there. Was able to slide over and block.
Comes a 2-0. Schoenberg sends that back foul.
As another ball comes in from the other field. Just a nice exchange system we got going on here. Base umpire Julius getting a nice stretch in here.
Calisthenics.
Make sure he's loose.
Yeah. This is our Saturday morning calisthenics session. So we've had our ranch discussion. We've talked plenty on pretzels. Now we're going to get into the calisthenics portion of our broadcast. It's going to be like sweating with the oldies with Richard Simmons.
Cory in the top half of the third inning is going to go through a stretch routine for everybody.
Well, I have been a licensed personal trainer for a long time, so that one's popped into center field. Runner's going to tag up and take off for home. The throw is going to be cut off. Pitcher throws the second in time. Got themselves a nearly hard to score double play off that one. Give me the scoring on that.
It's the old 8-3-4.
All right.
Double play. I think the
go.
second baseman. I know who the first two. I think the second baseman was covering there. So, the 8-3-4 double play, but a run does come across to score.
It's now 10-2 here in the second with 2 outs. It's going to bring up Alex Green. Green was the starting pitcher for Medlock. Didn't see where they put him defensively after that move out from the mound, but the Midtown 2028 comes to the plate trying to continue to eat into this B-baseball lead and skies that one. Who's got it? Second baseman does. It's going to bring an end to the inning. We're on to the third. B-baseball leads 10-2 over Medlock. You're watching the Prep Baseball Challenge.
So yeah, outrage is trending. Our feed's stirring us up, splitting us up. What if we came out from behind our walls and keyboards just for a sec and just go yard, front yard? Come out bagging, jumping, check on that Johnsonville feed. Let our individual flavors blend together. Yes, block nobody, block party. Keep it juicy.
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Welcome back to LakePoint Sports. B-Baseball leads 10-2 over Medlock Monarchs here in the Prep Baseball Challenge. Cory McCartney, Avery Hunt with you as we roll along to the third inning. Davis Dragon back on the mound trying to slay this B-Baseball lineup that's put up 3 runs in the first, 7 in the second. They will send Dixon Horn, Luke Walton, and Max Adam to the plate. Davis Dragon had me tripped up on the Davis train. So Dixon Horn going to lead things off. He's 0 for 1. Then again, Luke Walton and Max Adam. Horn 0 for 1. Bethlehem Christian Academy 2029. What do you think the Bethlehem Christian Academy's mascot is?
They are.
You already know it?
I think they're the Knights, maybe.
Okay.
Ballpark.
It's Jesus.
It's the Mangers.
Okay.
No, it's not. I just said that. Okay. It is. Knights. You're right. Knights
Let's
Nation.
go.
Yeah, you knew.
It's to know one of their coaches for their baseball team. He's in the travel ball circuit as well, and I think I've run across a few Facebook posts, late night death scrolling, and somehow retain that information of all things.
Would you do well on like a mascot trivia Georgia sports game show kind of deal?
Probably. Yeah.
During last year's feature games, everyone plays Immaculate Grid, and I was talking to Prep Baseball President Sean Duncan. How good would he be at a Immaculate Grid that paired up travel teams and college programs? He goes, I would dominate.
Yeah, if you give me some travel teams and give me some MLB college teams, sign me up for that. I think
there'd be the very select amount of people that would want to play that. I don't know that it would be worth the development from the handful of people that would want to play that, but it would be the ones who did would be feverish in their desire to play.
Especially in the travel ball world.
Yes.
I'm locked in on just about every team and mascot that you can come across.
Counts full, ropes that one into right field, over top of the right fielder's head. Horn's rounded first, on his way into second. Is he going to hold there? We're going to have a race on the way to third. Horn is going to be in for a leadoff triple. More magic for B-Baseball to start things off here in the third.
Like we talked about last inning with the two RBI single. I mean, versus a lefty, you kind of want to stay, as a right-handed hitter, I want to stay that right center field, right field approach, kind of keeps you on the ball a little bit longer. And, perfect example there is he drove that ball over the right fielder's head for a leadoff triple.
Luke Walton swinging that number 2 pencil, stepping in now with the runner at third. trying to get back those 2 runs they gave to Medlock in the bottom of the second. Just saw a ball from another field.
Whoever's playing on field 9 is depositing baseballs consistently in the home plate area.
Well, they saw a home plate umpire throwing up his hands for more baseballs. So
yeah, just figure they do their part.
Yep. Ooh, man, swing and a miss on that nearly 70-mile-an-hour offering from Dragon. I mentioned him literally living in the house of the Dragon, but unfortunately Davis is too young to be watching that show.
I haven't consumed any of it, but I'm as my fiance tells me all the time, all you watch is sports, and that's sports and Seinfeld. That's pretty much my
nice.
my go-to.
He's definitely too young to be watching that show.
Yeah.
I mean, if your name's in it, you got at least 2.
Well, yeah. Well, do you ever think he's seen like The Last Dragon, the Bruce Lee movie? Second baseman has it. The run's going to score, though, as Walton's out at first base, but he's delivered an RBI and makes it 11-2.
Productive at bat there for Walton. You know, nobody out, big infield. Just got to find a way to put that ball in play and get a run home. A little ABC baseball there for BE.
Max Adams steps in, Buford 2029. He's 0 for 1. 11 runs on 4 hits so far for B baseball. Taking advantage of 10 walks issued by Medlock pitching.
Yep, taking advantage of the freebies. If you watch college baseball, there's a lot of freebies these days, and it's all about who can take advantage of them.
Looping hit, but it goes into the glove of the center fielder. Nice grab on his knees, and now going to be 2 down. It's a great job defensively there in center from, well, that was the position that Dragon started out with. Didn't see who they maneuvered into center field after the pitching change. He can't be 2 places at once. Even a Dragon can't be 2 places at once.
You know, like you were just talking about, you know, with the 10 walks so far through 2 2/3, obviously, you know, this Medlock team's doing really good when their pitchers are in the zone.
Oh, man, that one is down. Stevenson's going to round first. That one's down into the corner. Is he going to hold it second? We are about to have our 3rd triple of the game for B baseball. The throw is not in time, and Stevenson's got himself a triple again. 3 in this game so far for B baseball.
Stevenson probably going to get a good talking to there from his third base coach as he ran right on through the stop sign there, but all is well that ends well. So, you know, anytime you can get into third, with a triple is a good thing. See Dragon telling his right fielder, "Hey man, get some depth out there. You know, take a few steps back."
So interesting point then, because a lot of these players coming to the bigger field like this, going from 13U to 14U, some of them aren't used to playing in fields of this depth and having to cover so much ground in the outfield. I think you see a lot more extra base hits at this point in the season than you're going to see as we get into the summer and you have kids who are more acclimated at the 14U division to playing on a bigger field.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, it's kind of most of these guys, they started with 14U in the fall, but, you know, fall baseball is kind of hit or miss. So, obviously, you know, they get more acclimated, and obviously as you grow and get bigger, it's easier to cut balls off, get to balls that, you know, might sneak to the fence. Arms are stronger, so you can, you know, cut down on some of those triples. But, yeah, I mean, I think some guys it takes some time. You know, the big field is a lot different than the 250, 300-foot fields. Just a lot of space to cover out there.
Noah Gaffney at the plate. He is 0 for 1. Got 11 runs on 5 hits for B baseball. 2 outs here in the inning. 1-2 count. Bounces right into catcher's glove. 32 pitches thus far for Dragon in this relief appearance. He's allowed 4 hits, 2 runs both earned, 1 walk, no strikeouts. Make the count full. Again, there's been 10 walks issued by Medlock to just 1 so far for B baseball. If you're looking for the difference in this game, because 11 runs on 5 hits for B baseball tells you how big those walks have been. Ropes that one past the second baseman, and here comes another run for B baseball as Gaffney comes through with the RBI single.
and talking about just outfield depth and guys in the outfield getting acclimated to this size of a ballpark, you have to play your guys decently shallow because, there's a lot of balls that get hit right there behind second base, kind of in no man's land that you want your center fielder to get to. But, for every one of those that you steal, that ball that's a routine fly ball for, older kids is over their head in a triple. So it's a give and take situation a little bit.
That one high to Tyson Davis to start off this count. Comes in for a strike. Count. Yeah, they gave him a balk off that, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Looked like he sped a little bit. I was just going to, between pitches, say, man, that's getting a little bit close there from Dragon, but I'm going to give him a balk, and runner's now at second. So the count is 1-0. Oh, that one is ripped by Davis. Unfortunately, our camera did not cooperate.
If you see me peeking to my left, there's some guys warming up in the bullpen about 25, 30 feet away, and I really don't want somebody to overthrow and wear one in the side of the shoulder. So.
That would make for interesting live television for us to have a baseball.
Be a good clip on the Instagram.
Yeah, we've had wasps in here plenty of times, other insects, but we do not need baseballs bouncing off the walls in here. That one's going foul. So Davis went foul, apparently, off that one that was north of 80 miles an hour off his bat.
I will say the highlight play of my weekend so far, caught a ground rule double off the hop, walking aimlessly through the backfields the other day, last night. So,
did anybody see it, though?
No, I was the only one back there. It's like a tree falling in the woods. Nobody knows.
You're like, I still got it, but you look around and no one to take it in.
I have learned my lesson. Do not try and catch fly balls that are hit into the concourse. Doesn't do anybody any good. So, hey, heads up, let it bounce, then I'll field it off the bounce. Not barehanding them anymore.
Well, we have a new studio that's going to be residing between fields 10 and 11, if you're familiar with the layout of campus here, just right in line with the Curve Test Center. And I've told them we have to have a net on top of that because the amount of foul balls that find their way into that concourse, it would be like you were in a war zone.
Yeah.
I mean, it's scary enough to be in the scout tower and to know balls are being hit and still hear it, but to not know it's happening in an enclosed space would be mortifying.
It's always fun when you have new employees, working scoreboard, or some of our state directors come in and they're just getting scouting videos and they're up in the tower, and all of a sudden you get the big boom and it's like, whoa, what was that? It's like, oh, it's just baseball. And
it still gets me. It gets me regardless. I mean, how many times I've been in that scout tower during games, it still gets me no matter what. It's just you can't be ready for it.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. I just kind of go like this. If if the world's either ending or a baseball hit the roof, one of the two.
Well, the one thing you can be assured of, it stops the scoreboard operators from getting a nap during the game.
Yeah.
I count now 1-2 here to Davis. It's been a long AB. Still got a runner at second base. Swing and a miss, and Dragon's got himself his first strikeout. We are through 2.5. B Baseball leads 12-2. We'll be back from the Prep Baseball Challenge.
So yeah, outrage is trending. Our feed's stirring us up, splitting us up. What if we came out from behind our walls and keyboards just for a sec and just go yard? Front yard. Come out bagging, jumping, check on that Johnsonville feed. Let our individual flavors blend together. Yes, block nobody, block party. Keep it juicy.
Boogie woogie jam slam, bust the dialect, I'm the
Welcome back to LakePoint Sports. You're watching the Prep Baseball Challenge, where B Baseball leads Medlock Monarchs 12-2. Cory McCartney, Avery Hunt with you. So we got coming up to the plate for Medlock Monarchs. We're going to see Max Adams on the mound for B Baseball. He's only thrown 25 pitches, by the way, as we sit here in the bottom of the third inning. Medlock is going to have Collins Easom. This is their number 11 hitter, so they're getting through the order for the first time here in the bottom of the third. And that'll be back to Dragon in the top of the order.
Before we kick off this inning, I will touch back on the NFL draft. The unthinkable happened during the first round. The Atlanta Falcons selected a player from the University of Georgia, finally. So a lot of happy people in the state of Georgia that, hey, let's draft some of those guys down there that win a lot of football games in the SEC. So, moved up and then got another SEC player in the first round. It's like, hey, there we go, guys.
I always think it's when these NFL teams get guys from in-state colleges, whether or not it's a good thing or a bad thing, because they kind of have their foundation, their network of people that they're coming with, and is that baggage an issue when you're trying to get them to become something at a professional level as opposed to taking them into a new environment? It's always kind of an interesting debate. I mean, because being a Bengals fan, I want Jack Sawyer in stripes before this day's over with. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but when you have guys that kind of have that connection to the fan base, it's great for the fans. But I always just wonder from like ridding them of distractions standpoint.
Yeah, and this is something, obviously, a Georgia alumni, Falcons fan, unfortunately, for the entirety of my time here. But a couple years ago, you have the Butkus Award winner, which is, for those of you who don't know, is the best college linebacker, an hour down the road. And he's there in the second round, he's there in the third round, he's there in the fourth round. And you draft a guy that, no shade, seems to be a good player, but you draft a guy that nobody's ever heard of that played running back in college, and you're like, what are we doing? And then, obviously, Nakobe Dean is who I'm referencing. He goes on to play for the Eagles, starting linebacker on a great, obviously, we saw what that defense was, and until the middle of the playoffs where he got hurt. But it's just like, guys, what are we doing? But they get paid a lot more money than me, so
that's
hopefully I'm assuming they know more than I do, but sometimes it just, makes you have some questions.
Max Adams gets the punch out of Collins Easom. We're now back to the top of the order for Medlock Monarchs and Davis Dragon, who is taken over on the mound for Medlock. Be followed by Langston Williams. Second time through the order for Medlock. 2-1 count. Puts that one in play. First baseman has it, can't field it, gets it to Adam in time, and he is out at second. Nice job, nice recovery. Nice job at first base, by the way, from Bryce Lovell, not panicking when he couldn't immediately grab that ball. Stuck with it and able to flip it to Adam in time for the out.
Yeah, I saw Adam do a really good job there, too, of kind of becoming a first baseman. That's obviously what you teach pitchers. Obviously, in a perfect world, you catch it in stride, you tag the bag, move on, but a little bobble there. He just got to the bag, was able to extend out, and basically just play first base there. So, really good job from him.
Langston Williams, again, junior future gamer, will be at the end of this summer for Georgia. Steps in with 2 down. Tells you what the Prep Baseball Georgia scouting team saw from Williams when he went to Rising Stars preseason All-State in March. That they saw enough to say, yeah, let's get that guy in here at the end of the summer for junior feature games.
Absolutely.
1-1 count. Williams puts that one in play, 74.8 off his bat, but it'll be hauled in by the center fielder for and out. Avery Hunt stepped around for 3 innings. Great job as always, man. Next 2 weeks you're going to be out. You're going to be getting married. Best of luck, man. Do what she wants you to do.
Absolutely. Say yes and smile.
That's right. That's the rules going forward. We'll be back. You're watching the Prep Baseball Challenge from LakePoint Sports.
We're here at LakePoint Sports, the site of the first Curve Test Center. There will be lots of curve test centers, but this will always be the first. And why are we here? Here for a couple of reasons. One is if you think about the effort players are spending trying to get coaches to notice them, the effort coaches are spending trying to figure out who's actually any good, the poor parents who are sitting there saying, where's my kid headed? This is the answer for all that.
Everyone wants to be seen, right? Sometimes what can be seen is data. So it's hard to get in front of coaches at all these programs at once, or even the school you really want to go to. So using data helps us a ton. And as long as it's reliable and there's something that can give us better information with the small sample size is what we're looking for.
Curve Test Centers is redefining player and performance data when it comes to evaluation and recruiting. Test your cognitive, athletic, and baseball skills with TrackMe and Proteus and more. Visit at the Bubble or sign up now at curvetestcenter.com. Don't miss this chance to level up your game. Welcome back to LakePoint Sports. Davis Dragon back on the mound for Medlock Monarchs. First ball in play from Lovell. Throw over to first in time. Very quick first out. We had a pitching change as Avery Hunt steps out and Jack McCartney steps into the studio for the first time. Jack, good to have you. You were out there. You missed our delivery here for soft pretzels. We still have a pretzel here for you, though. We didn't get a take on the cheese dipping sauce because Avery and I are not consumers of cheese. So we're going to have you dip into this dipping sauce and give us the lowdown on the Land O'Lakes Ultimate Cheddar dipping sauce, so we get your taste test on it.
Usually, I'm not one for the good old cheese dip.
What do you know? What's your?
Usually, I'm just straight up salt.
Okay,
usually
so you're on board. You and Maddie are in the same camp.
Yeah, I like to let the salt kind of do its thing. I like to, as a consumer of many pretzels in my lifetime, I like to just kind of let them be who they are.
Braden Litchfield's at the plate now with one down here for B Baseball. He's got a 3-0 count. Litchfield walked in his first trip to the plate. We've seen 10 walks issued by Medlock, and that one is right into the glove of Langston Williams for the second out. How's the cheese sauce?
It's good. It's a bit kind of solidy, but solid-y, yeah.
All right, well, it was we had the delivery for pretzels by our F&B department about 11 o'clock. Again, it's National Pretzel Day, so if you missed the video, you'll be able to find it on our social channels where Maddie Bullock went around and got athletes' takes on the best dipping sauce. Cheese did, in fact, win.
You got to be careful. I'm going to start doing some ASMR.
All right, we've got an 0-1 count here to Fleming. Fleming's first trip to the plate, he delivered a 3-run triple. He's 1 for 1. He's got 4 RBI on the day. Also drew a walk. Sends that one foul. Counts now 0-2. Fleming, 2029 middle infielder, playing in his third prep baseball event. Making a bid for player of the game here. Dragon thought he had himself a strikeout, the second of the game.
Outside.
Yep. So you were down there early getting some pictures for us. What was your take on being around this B baseball squad in particular, because they have rushed out to a big lead?
Well, they can get electric when they need to.
Oh, man, he is in for his second hit. Fleming's now 2 for 2 with a walk.
So he helps prove that right there. They're good at matching each other's energy, I think, a lot. They can really just get each other to, when they're hot, they're hot. And they've shown that today as they're up 12-2 right now. And, I mean, that triple just helped them out a ton as they got really confident and they got really secured on knowing that
they've had 3 triples so far in this game. And Fleming, defensive hit. That's in play.
Wow. I mean, he's got to hit the bag, doesn't he?
Well,
it's
the
fair.
Live
He
ball.
pointed
So
fair.
So we saw Dragon get a balk earlier. So let's see. I think they're good. Are they going to have him go back to first? All right. So I think Blue's saying he wasn't ready for the pitch. So we saw the check swing from Ellenberg, and he says, "My bad," as he just put a check swing out and put that one in play. So we're going to have a runner at second base in the form of Fleming. Ellenberg swing and a miss. Yeah, again, we've seen 3 triples from B Baseball so far. So 3 of their 7 hits have been triples. Ellenberg loops that into left field, and Williams has got that. We are through half an inning. We'll be back with more. You're watching the Prep Baseball Challenge. B Baseball leads 12-2 over Medlock Monarchs.
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
First pitch swinging. Mercer puts that in play. We've got nearly a collision there in the right field, but Fleming is able to haul that in and get the out. Really liked, excuse me, that's Luke Walton playing second base. Fleming is actually shortstop. Seen some nice defensive work from Luke Walton out there in second. Adam delivers. That's in for a strike in the outside. Interesting conversation, Jack, ahead of the game with Cam Utter, the head coach of B Baseball, was a Wake Forest signee for both baseball and football. Ended up getting drafted by the Dodgers. Spent a few years in their minor league system. When he was coming through as a wide receiver, he had offers from Wake Forest, Vandy, Arkansas, Cincinnati, Kentucky, Navy, and Northwestern, and then ended up signing with Wake Forest. He was going to go to Vanderbilt. He told me that James Franklin was actually recruiting him, and then Franklin ended up leaving and taking the Penn State job. And he reached out to Franklin and was wondering if he was going to Penn State with him, and was not in the cards, and he winds up signing with Wake Forest. But instead of getting his way to Winston-Salem, he ends up getting drafted by the Dodgers, as that one's going to be hit. And it's going to be in for a single. Much needed hit for Medlock, but ends up going in the 12th round of the 2014 draft out of Pace Academy. by the Dodgers. Ended up playing 3 years in their system, 5 years, excuse me, in their system. Ended up getting up to high A, and then it's played some independent ball, played in Japan a little bit, and now he's given back to youth baseball and coaching BE baseball, and he's got to crew this up 12-2 here in the 4th inning.
I mean, I saw him running. You can tell he was a receiver.
Yeah, he said he ran a 4.
Booking.
He said he ran a 4.440.
Wow, wow. I saw him running from dugout to third base, and that man was moving.
They said he was listed at 6'3", 205 when he was coming through as a wide receiver. I don't know if he's not all of 205 anymore, but
no.
Third base has it, gathers, throws in time for 1 out, throw back to third, but he's off the bag, gets away from him. So Medlock going to have a runner at third. Yeah, unfortunate situation there. Nobody went back to cover third base, and some smart base running from the Medlock side as they now have a runner in scoring position at third base with 2 outs here in the 4th.
The umpire knew that you should have thrown it. As you saw, he squatted down. He was ready for the throw, but they just weren't ready to throw it.
Cole Davidson now at the plate, second baseman. 2 outs here in the inning. Adam just misses.
Just a bit up. Another little bit more down, that would have been right in the middle.
Yeah, 1-0 count. That's in for a strike. Counts now even. Adam's next pitch will be his 50th. Again, one of the things that, Jack, I think that has been huge for B baseball is they've issued just 1 walk so far. Meanwhile, there's been 10 issued by Medlock Monarch pitching, and that pretty much tells you a 10-run change here in the 2 scores, 10-run deficit, and 10 additional base runners from offered from Medlock. So that's been a huge factor in this game. Ball gets away. Is the runner going to take off for home? He does throw his not in time, so make it another run for Medlock as they get run off the wild pitch.
I mean, we talked about their hitting and how electric they can get. He's been phenomenal on the mound. I mean, he had, what, 9 or 10 pitches in the 1st inning?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, and he's at, what, right now?
51?
51?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Been a very
51
efficient.
51 in 4 innings is something you really want to see as a coach.
Very efficient start for Max Adam, who just continues to roll on. That one's going foul. If you missed it earlier, 6-4-3 DP was behind home plate. They're going to be playing B baseball next on this field. That was the team that Medlock lost to 5-4 in the game right before this. The conclusion of the game, we will award player of the game, and you'll be able to find an interview with that player on our social media platforms. So that one goes back foul. Count is full with 2 down here in the inning. A 12-3 lead for B baseball. Got about 13 minutes of game time remaining.
When I was over there waiting for the lineup card, I was listening to some of the Medlock players as he gets watched right now. I didn't understand that a knuckle curve didn't have as much torque on your arm as a normal curve. Never knew that. I didn't understand that a single finger could change the way a ball and how much torque is on your hand. Because one of the players, I don't remember exactly who it was, but he was talking about how his trainer and his arm coach was talking about how, yeah, he's having issues with his arm, but a knuckle curve could help out and make it so he doesn't get as injured in as he pitches more.
Had a mound visit. We did not have a pitching change, so Max Adams going to get an opportunity to roll on. He's now got 2 down here in the inning. Luke Ayers at the plate. Runner at first base. 12-3 lead for B baseball. Throw over to first, but nothing to show for it. So this will continue this AB. First pitch here incoming to Ayers. Runner taking off for second, gets away from the catcher, and he'll smartly hold on to that one. A lot of Buford players on this B baseball, featured Buford players. Talk about a daunting program to get into and one that's primed for success for years to come. Dexter McLeon Jr., obviously the crown jewel of the future for that team, but you got currently Cannon Golden, who we saw you were in the Prep Baseball All-American game shirt. We had Cannon back for a second year this past summer at Miami.
They also have Leo Garcia.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, Leo Garcia.
Had Leo here playing for the Atlanta Braves scout team a number of times this past summer.
Was there at the Prep Baseball Underclassmen Showcase earlier this year.
Yeah, that event up in Flowery Branch. Our own Grayson Rosen was up there for that. Catch 22 here behind the pitcher. That one is in play. Have it, though, in time for an out. And that's going to bring an end to the inning. B Baseball leads 12-3. You're watching the Prep Baseball Challenge. We'll be back from LakePoint Sports.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
Welcome back. 12-3 lead for B Baseball over Medlock Monarchs. You're watching our game of the day from the Prep Baseball Challenge. Cory McCartney, Jack McCartney with you. Mason Barrett, Dixon Horn, and Luke Walton will be at the plate for B Baseball. They've got 12 runs on 7 hits, 3 runs on 4 hits for Medlock Monarchs. Davis Dragon back on the mound. He's thrown 53 pitches after coming in the 3rd inning. Yeah, he's 2 1/3. He's allowed 6 hits, 3 runs all earned. Got 1 walk, 1 strikeout. There's the throw down. Mason Barrett again leading things off. Barrett is 1 for 2.
Now, I know you and Avery already talked about his last name's Dragon.
Yes.
If you could pick any name to be your superhero, like, not like, you know, Captain America and all that kind of stuff, but you're like Bruce Banner, or I'm aware.
You mean like the real name?
Your real name, not
so,
like you're like.
Well, that's because most of the good ones are all anagrams, right? So they have the first.
I don't know if you know that. I don't know if that's right or not.
Well, anagram, and alliteration. And I'm the one who has a degree tied to the English language here, communications, journalism degree. An anagram is obviously like race car.
Yeah. Same word flipped.
Yeah,
it's like the exact same. Taco cat.
Phrase formed by rearranging the letters of a different word or phrase. Typically, the letters are exactly the same. Yeah, and that I've just butchered the English language here. But yes, alliteration. Thank you so much, Maddie. But yes, most superhero, their real life names are alliterations, a la Davis Dragon.
I mean,
Matt Murdock, Peter Parker rips that one into left field.
Mm-hmm.
You got one? Well, I think it should be stuff that I think it should be much in the way that I try to find action hero names. I think we should search for superhero real names on these lineups, and I think we've definitely have one in Davis Dragon.
I mean, I forgot, and I just remembered this. When I was younger, I created a superhero named Clockmaster. Could change and like.
But that's not somebody's.
Hold on. His name was Mark McLean, and if you look it up, there is a Facebook page named Mark McLean. I don't remember what's on it, but I created Mark McLean.
It wasn't that person, though. Luke Walton's at the plate now. Walton sends that one back foul. Swinging that pencil bat.
I think that's the first one I've seen in person. I've seen some on broadcast before, but I've never seen one in real life.
I threw out there, and I really do think this should happen, that the wood one should literally be an actual pencil. And that you should be able to potentially, if you wanted to do so, be able to sharpen it, and it should have a working eraser on it.
Well, but then you got to think about the fact that if you hit the little knob, that thing's just going to...
Well, in Avery, rightly so, as somebody who's a tournament operator, let me know that having that metal band at the top of it underneath the eraser, probably not the smartest thing.
No.
So we probably can't have it be an actual pencil. But then I did throw out there that maybe they should have a Sharpie version of it. They should have one that looks like a big Sharpie pen.
Well, I know there's the crayon ones. Those
there
ones
are crayons. Yes,
there are crayons.
Very true. There are ones that look like a Crayola.
Next thing you know, Victus X Sharpie might happen the next couple of years.
Well, if it does, I'm gonna. If it's not already out there, and it happens after this game, then I will be putting out a finder's fee, and we'll expect the fine folks at both Victus and Sharpie to compensate me for my intellectual property. That one's going to sail high on Dragon, and it's going to be a walk. Runners at first and second.
If it was a Sharpie bat, then they could sign their own autographs with their bat.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, you're completely onto something huge. It would be really hard to use it, though, right? Like, you would almost because it would be top-heavy. So you'd almost have to, put a Sharpie bat underneath your arm to be able to write with it. That one's going foul.
But at least it'd be comedic.
It would, yeah.
Well, but also, if you hold it by the cap, that thing, when you swing it, it's just going to fly off.
Well, that's what Avery had chimed in with, that, and oftentimes he will, flick them, and it will end up breaking off. So if that becomes a part of it, I think it becomes a dangerous weapon if it's got a piece of broken plastic on the top of it. So maybe not a fully fledged idea as we have a Sharpie bat, but we'll piece this thing together and send it off to Victus and Sharpie.
There are some things that are better left thoughts and not happening in real life.
1-1 count here. Adam at the plate. He's 0 for 2. He tips that one back foul. I just never thought we'd get to the point where you'd have a baseball bat that looked like a crayon or a pencil. So I'm trying to come up with the next iterations of these things. Maybe they should have maybe I think the next thing everyone wants a sliding mitt, and you've seen absolutely ridiculous, has the ones that look like the Philly Fanatic and all these things. Someone should make one, because us older baseball fans sometimes refer to them as oven mitts. They should make one that literally looks like an oven mitt.
Well, but wouldn't that just mean it's black with a hand? Or
that one's in play. Third base has it. Oh, man, he can't glove it. It's going to get away from him. Man, he could have had that play at third, but instead we're going to see the bases loaded for B baseball as they've got one down. I'm just trying to come up with ways for KitchenAid and all these other groups to get into the baseball.
KitchenAid Ari would be an insane collaboration.
Well, again, we're all about creating collabs here at LakePoint Sports. So if we can bring companies together, we will in fact do that. Dragon misses, gets away from his catcher. Runners will stay put, though. We are down to about 3 minutes remaining on the clock, but Medlock is the home team, so regardless, they will get an opportunity to bat here in the bottom of the 5th inning. It's just going to be a matter of what this deficit's going to look like, and I believe we're going to potentially have a pitching change, as we just saw Carter Weaver go from first base in, so I'm sure he's running off to the bullpen. That one is
through.
Yeah, it gets past Langston Williams. Here comes a run for Medlock. For B baseball. Errant throw. Here comes another run. Make it 14-3 here in the top of the 5th.
Wow. I mean, that's just some great
smart base running.
Smart base running right there. I mean, he knew that he could make it, and he legged it through.
So B baseball extends their lead now as we'll wait for the scoreboard to catch up. 14-3. There it is. Here with one out here in the 5th. Noah Gaffney, who's 1 for 2 at the plate.
I mean, when these B baseball players when they're hot, I mean, they can just get the ball rolling like crazy.
Well, they say hitting is contagious, and we have certainly seen that from B baseball. Offering from Dragon just gets away from the catcher, but stops it from going much further.
If hitting is contagious, it looks like a pandemic out there.
Yeah, I think we've all had enough of those the past few years. 2-0. That one's going to miss high. Count now 3-0. That's down the middle for a strike. Gaffney to be followed in the order by Tyson Davis and Bryce Lovell. See if any extends any further than that for B baseball. Again, Medlock just trying to limit the damage here and see what they can do in the bottom of the inning. This, of course, is a factor in pool play. They had a one-run loss to 6-4-3 in the opening game. So as we start looking at run differential, if they're able to get through into bracket play. But going to be tough with a 1-1 record if they can't eat into this lead, but they'll get a chance to do so in the bottom of the fifth. Swing and a miss, goes down on strikes. You had told me an interesting nugget, Jack, about this B baseball squad and a number of these guys who have been playing together for a long time.
Well, it was the Medlock kids.
Medlock,
yeah. So I looked up some of their names, and they played on the 12U Druid Hills Youth Sports All-Stars. So my guess is it was a rec league that they had tryouts for 12 and under, and you could try out to be an all-star and travel around like they're doing now. So there's 3 different teams. There's the Red Devils, the Blue Devils, and then the Sun Devils. At this point, though, there was Red Devils, Blue 2, Blue 3, and Blue 1. So on the Red Devils, there was Charles Mercer, Brooks Farrer, Langston Williams, Cole Davidson, and Gray Gilmer, all played on the same team. Blue 2 had Baylor Lidbum on it, and Blue 3 had Luke Ayers and Nate Mickelvet. And then his dad, Jeff Mickelvet, coached on that team. So they've known each other for a long time if they're playing on the same rec teams and all-star teams together.
Davis puts that one in play. Dragon is underneath it. He makes the catch, and that is going to bring an end to the inning. 14-3 lead for B baseball over Medlock Monarchs. It's all going to come down to this bottom of the fifth inning. We'll see if Medlock can eat into this lead. We'll be back with more. You're watching the Prep Baseball Challenge.
Next. Next. Stop.
You got it?
No. Keep going.
Again.
Next. Next.
If you don't pick one.
Oh, you have time. Am I keeping you from your job? Next. I don't even know where I am anymore. Stop.
Do we finally have it?
Let's go back to the beginning.
Are you
Your
joking?
electric future customized. The fully electric Audi Q4 e-tron.
Making every second count. That is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water. Water for the athlete and all of us.
This is ready to go online. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. How about the best network imaginable? Let's invent that.
That's what we do here.
Quick survey. Who wants their internet to work pretty much everywhere?
And it needs to run smooth, like super smooth.
Hey, should you be drinking that?
It's decaf. Because we're busy women.
We don't have time for lag or buffering. Who doesn't want internet that helps AI do your homework even faster?
Come again?
Sorry, what was that?
Introducing the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now.
Welcome back to LakePoint Sports. B baseball leads 14-3 over Medlock Monarchs, the bottom of the fifth inning. We are all timed out on the scoreboard. And this means it'll be Medlock's last opportunity to make some noise and see if they can eat into this lead. They'll send Gilmer to the plate. And Greg Gilmer. Yep, Greg Gilmer will start things off. Meanwhile, we've had a pitching change for B baseball, and they've got Cleland at the mound now. It's Tyler Cleland taking over. Takes over for Max Adam. Cleland, North Gwinnett, 2029. Got a fastball around 62, which is exactly where he's sitting so far in these warm-ups. Also has a curveball around 54 to 56, a changeup that sits around 59. He's playing in his third prep baseball event. Max Adam, meanwhile, went 4 innings, allowed 4 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Gilmer at the plate, 0 for 1. Count is now 3-0.
Nice to see that it's finally sunny outside. It's been really foggy all morning.
Yeah, an odd weather day. I mean, we had the remnants of some storms over last night. There was mulch all over, and much to the credit of our guest experience team, they were out with brooms and leaf blowers while we were starting our broadcast, cleaning up, making things nice and presentable here across campus. This, as you may well know, is the premier youth sports and travel destination.
Well, on all these guys prep baseball, you know, how it says how old they are, their height, weight, all that kind of stuff. So Greg Gilmer hits that in
foul territory.
Foul territory. So all these guys have 14-year, however many months. Greg Gilmer has 2,025 years and 4 months on his prep baseball profile.
That's his age?
That's his age. So this man is
he's been around for a while.
Yeah, he's been around for a minute.
He's seen some things. Count is full here to the ageless Gilmer. That's going to spike in front of the catcher, and he'll draw himself a leadoff walk.
Surprised he doesn't need a cane to get there.
Well,
we can rule out him being a vampire. It's sunny
that's
outside.
Right.
He's fine.
There you go. Alex Green, who was the starting pitcher for Medlock, is going to step in with a runner at first. Blue's got some issue with his mask. All right, now he's ready to roll. All right, I gave the thumbs up. All right, runner at first. Nobody out. Alex Green at the plate. Green's 0 for 1. Midtown 2028. And we are all timed out, so it comes down to this for Medlock, and see how much of this sizable BE baseball lead they can get into. It's B baseball. I keep wanting to say I look at it as the acronym because it's Buford Elite, so I wanted it to be BE baseball, but they refer to it as B baseball. So
I mean, BE baseball, like, it just seems like that's what it would be.
Well, especially when you have 2 capital letters next to each other, you
yeah.
expect an abbreviation. But I was trying to say that an anagram was an alliteration, so what do I know about the English language? 14-3 lead for B baseball. Counts now 1-1 here to Green. After Alex Green, it's Collins, Eastham, and then we're back to the top of the order for Medlock. So if they can get something going, they have the right guys at the right time.
Alex Green in his second prep baseball event. When you look up the name Alex Green Prep Baseball, his isn't the one that shows up first. It is the former Super 60 participant, Alex Green, who was a 2020 grad, who ended up committing to Virginia and playing there for a couple of years.
I'm sure this Alex Green would like a similar trajectory. Let's see, again, is a Midtown 2028.
5'10", 125, and he's got 72-mile-per-hour fastball, which at this age isn't that bad.
This guy's that one foul, be no play. Count now 1-2. That one shook him up a little bit. Is a bit of a stinger as he was regripping his batting glove, shaking off his hand. Steps back in now. Comes the 1-2.
That thing just dropped.
Yep. So this is not the only broadcast that we have coming your way. A little bit later today at 2:50 p.m. we'll have a broadcast from the 100 Session 2 over at the Champion Center. We'll have Red Line basketball against Tennessee Impact. Again, that one coming at 2:50. You'll be able to find that on the LakePoint Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube accounts, as that one is going to drop in for a hit. No, he caught it. Fantastic play in center field. And, man, Walker Stevenson coming up with a big defensive play to rob the hit from Alex Green, and that's going to bring up Collins Easom, the last hitter in the order for Medlock. So that Rise Hoops broadcast going to have Simone Stanley and Mike Sifrin on the call, so you will not want to miss that. Again, Rise Hoops 100 Session 2, and that broadcast will be coming at 2:50 today. Miss high, one down now in the inning off that great catch in center field from Walker Stevenson.
I love when even in later in the game like this, we see those moments of peak athleticism, like that catch we just saw. You can just tell that they're still putting in the effort, even though it's been almost the entire game.
Yeah, especially with a team that's up 11 runs, right? Like it would have been very easy for him to just let that drop and be like, hey, you know, we've got a huge lead. There's no way they're going to eat into this thing. But hats off to Walker Stevenson for laying out, making that catch, getting the first out here in the inning. I'm sure Mom and Dad are more than proud for the Lanier 2029 watching him put forth that effort.
It's just one of the best parts of LakePoint, period, is you get to see these kids grow in their athleticism and things that you see that they start to learn and they just start to perform even better.
And that miss going to make it 3-1. Somebody asked me a few years ago when we started doing these broadcasts about how do you stay up for each one of these and, you know, kind of bring an excitement to each week and not just kind of let it bog you down when you look at the schedule and say, how many of these games are we going to do? I think that, and you kind of touched on it a little bit there, I kind of always look at this as could be as that one is ripped into left field and that'll be caught for the second out. This could be the biggest weekend in one of these kids' lives. And I think we all kind of have those touchstone moments in our own athletic background, our own athletic journeys and experiences where we have those times where those are the defining times for us. We could very easily be watching that unfold here in this game for one of these players, that this is going to be one of those real, you know, cornerstone memories for them. And I think that's the way that I think we need to approach everything we do here, and because again, you never know when that could be that biggest moment of that kid's athletic career. Davis Dragon now at the plate with 2 down. So it's going to come down to the leadoff hitter for Medlock Monarchs. They try to extend this inning.
If I was Dragon, when I got older, I would definitely be getting a dragon tattoo somewhere. I would have to.
Definitely one of the cooler names that we've had. Grayson Rosen and I have talked about by the end of the summer we need to have like an all name team here at LakePoint Sports, and the best names that we've had all year long. And I certainly think Dragon is throwing his hat into the ring.
A month or two ago, wasn't there a kid that his last name was like Youngblood or something?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, we've had some good ones so far.
And then there was Bloodworth.
Yes, we have Bloodworth, yes. Jaden Bloodworth last week. So I think we've got some. We could almost do tiers of all named teams. You know, it could be ones that could be, you know, the action hero division. We could have ones that were just, you know, I think we could definitely come up with some different tiers of these names by the time the amount of players that we have and teams that we have coming through. I think we could do a whole podcast breakdown on these top names. 3-0 count here to Dragon. If he gets on, it's Langston Williams, and he will, in fact, get on with a 2-out walk. So there'll be runners at the corners for the future junior future gamer.
Oh, future junior future gamer. He's coming back. This entire Medlock team will come back in a couple months for 2 different events. They'll be back for May Slugfest and one other event that I cannot think of the name right now.
Yeah, May Slugfest right before the kind of floodgates open, and we get a lot of the high school players coming back to join their travel teams. So we kind of have that time period right around Memorial Day, just right before we get to MPI, where a lot of these guys that had been playing high school baseball were lucky enough to make their teams and stick around for a while. Are now getting back on their travel teams. Nearly had a fantastic play to end the game behind the plate from Mason Barrett, but he's unable to make the catch. That's always a cool look when you've got the sunglasses underneath the catcher gear. I always find it fascinating, though. I should have had hit up Avery on this question, how they make sure the glasses don't come off. Does that make it harder to get the mask off when you're trying to pull the mask off and you've got glasses underneath it? Williams pops up. Who's got it? On the run, Fleming ends the game with that pop-up. B Baseball is 14-3 winners over Medlock Monarchs. A lot of offense in this game for sure from B Baseball. We'll be back with more from LakePoint Sports as we talk player of the game and wrap this up from the Baseball Village.
So yeah, outrage is trending. Our feed's stirring us up, splitting us up. What if we came out from behind our walls and keyboards just for a sec and just go yard, front yard? Come out bagging, jumping, check on that Johnsonville feed. Let our individual flavors blend together. Yes, block nobody, block party. Keep it juicy.
Boogie woogie jam slam, bust the dialect, I'm the
Welcome back to LakePoint Sports. Cory McCartney and Jack McCartney with you. We just saw B Baseball get a 14-3 win over Medlock Monarchs here in our game of the day. From the Prep Baseball Challenge, B Baseball just absolutely took advantage of the opportunities provided by Medlock Monarchs. They had in total 11 walks issued. They had 14 runs on 9 hits. I thought, Jack, offensively, B Baseball had some opportunities, and they just seized them in scoring 3 runs in the first, 7 in the second, and 2 in the third to open up a sizable lead.
I mean, B Baseball, when their bats were hot, but also they were really good on defense. I mean, you saw at the end, Fleming ran all the way from shortstop all the way to almost in the big middle of right and left. Right in center field, and they took all the time they could to get the plays they needed to get. I mean, you saw that diving play at left.
Yeah, I mean, Walker Stevenson making that diving play for the first out in the 5th inning out of center field. I thought they matched what they did off defensively with the hot start that they had at the plate. Yeah. We talk about player of the game in this one. Man, Grayson Fleming just absolutely got things rolling for this squad. Man, just a fantastic start for him. He gets a 3-run triple in his first trip to the plate. Ends up going 2 for 2, 4 RBI in all. Also had a walk in a game where we saw a team take advantage. It was Grayson Fleming who truly took advantage and had 1 of 3 triples for this team.
I mean, yeah, they were really good on, like, he knew that he had an opportunity to get to third. He knew that was the play, that was the pitch to get him to get all those runs in. And they didn't let the fact that they were up with a sizable lead at the beginning to stop them from playing as hard and from playing as confident and as good as they were. And they let each other feed off of each other and get hot and get explosive. And they really just, I mean, Max Adam did good on the plate and get on the mound and really getting those stops and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, a great job all around for B Baseball again. A dominant win for them. They were 14-3 winners over Medlock Monarchs. Grayson Fleming, the shortstop, had some great plays there defensively as well. He ends up as player of the game. We'll be back next Saturday with coverage of the Georgia Open State Championship, so you won't want to miss that one. Make sure you're following LakePoint Sports across all of our social media channels for tune-in information, as we'll have that for you for free on Facebook, X, and YouTube. And if you liked this broadcast, we're also going to have a basketball broadcast coming your way from the Rise Hoops the 100 Session 2. That'll be 2:50 today. Got Redline basketball against Tennessee Impact. Have Simone Stanley and Mike Sifrin on the call for that one, so make sure you stick around for that one. Until next time, for Jack McCartney, Avery Hunt, producer Maddie Bullock, and our F&B squad for delivering some soft pretzels to us for Soft Pretzel Day, I'm Cory McCartney, and for now, we're signing off from LakePoint Sports.